Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Nick Tan Chats, my magic and mostly mentalism review show. My name is Nick Tan, and on today's episode, I'll be chatting with you guys about something called Topix, released by Pierre, Acourt and Sebastien, Macak. So hi again guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for showing up, thanks for tuning in, and thanks for spending some time with me today. So on today's episode, I'll be chatting with you guys about, well, it's not a physical prop, or a technique of some kind. This is actually for an app-based effect, all right, that is known as Topix. Okay, now if you know me and if you know the stuff that I do and the stuff that I talk about on this channel, you will know that I hardly really ever discuss apps. I do, well, a couple of reviews for apps, but I'm really not the expert, right, at app-based magic. And it's really just down to personal preference, I think, because as I've mentioned before, I mainly only perform on stage, all right? I do a mind-reading stage show, and in those kinds of situations, I really hardly ever get to use apps of any kind. And on the rare occasion that I do get booked for close-up stuff, mix and mingle, strolling kind of engagements, I really only use things like DFB, because I find that to be really simple to use and easy for me to kind of execute as well. So I've known about Topix for some time, I think sometime in January, Sebastien actually got in touch with me and asked if I would like to have a look at this thing of his called Topix. So at that point, I think there was some delay, I think because he wanted to hold out until the Blackpool Magic Convention. So we were kind of waiting for that to happen. And then, things got a bit busy for me as well, and I kind of have been putting off this episode. So here we are today, and so I'm just going to tell you guys about what Topix is, all right, the effect, some of the features as well that you'll be able to do and use within the interface as well. So what is Topix? Well, there is a demo video online, all right, but really briefly, what happens is you have a spectator use their own mobile device, okay, you don't have to touch their phone at all, and you direct them to head to one particular website. Once they are there, they will see that it is a website that is full of photographs. Okay, so it's the kind of website that, well, apparently, photographers, okay, would use that to kind of share the images that they happen to snap. And then from there, what happens is the spectator is asked to search for anything, all right, any object. Okay, so this is done sight unseen. So let's say they search for bicycle. Okay, so they type in bicycle and they click search, they bring up a whole bunch of different images of bicycles, right, that photographers have taken. And then from there, they just scroll through and they stop and they select one of the images. From there, they are asked to focus on that image, and then you, the performer, are then able to review what the image is, all right, describe the image in great detail, and you can also review other elements of the image as well, such as the photographer's name, okay, the number of likes that the photograph has, the tags, okay, that the photograph has as well, and also the number of times the photograph has been downloaded. So that is the basic effect. The spectator would use their phone, they would scroll through and just search for a random image, they focus on the image, and you tell them what they are thinking of. So when you purchase Topix, okay, you will be obviously given an account, all right, which you have to set up, which will enable you to use this particular website, okay. And once you get Topix, you'll be given access to a particular kind of interface, all right, and on there will be instructions, written instructions, as well as video instructions as well about how to set up Topix, and also how to perform Topix and all the other variations and the other features that Topix has. So right off the bat, I think it's important to let you guys know that in order to use Topix to its fullest potential, okay, you will need a Telegram account. Okay, so if you're not familiar with Telegram, it is a messaging kind of an app, all right, pretty similar to WhatsApp. Okay, but you will need an account in order to use the full features of Topix. So I do have a Telegram account, and in the instructions for Topix, they will take you through step by step how to set up your Telegram account so that you can use it along with Topix. So as I mentioned earlier, the spectator is directed to a particular website from which they choose the images, and they search for, any image that they'd like to use for this mind-to-mind demonstration, right? And you really don't have to touch the spectator's phone. Okay, your phone doesn't even have to be in play, all right? I mean, there is a way to perform a version of Topix without your phone at all on you. You could have your phone at home and you can still perform, well, a basic version of Topix just using the spectator's mobile device. So whenever we discuss app-based, magic, right, I think many people ask about the input method. Right? And I think the selection process that you take the spectator through using the photographs is really quite fair. All right? They really do have a free choice of any image. They don't even touch the image actually. They just scroll through and then they just kind of look and think of one particular image. Okay, and from there, well, obviously there's some process involved, but it's all handled really naturally. And just really quickly, you will be able to nail the exact photograph that they are looking at. And then of course, we'd like to find out how we get the information. If you do have your phone with you, all right, the spectator can be using their phone, but on your end, you can just have your phone set on a table, okay, in full view, just face up, just like that. And then as they do whatever they need to do, you will be able to get the information from the screen of your phone, all right, just with a quick glance, okay? I don't think it's fair for me to describe exactly what happens, all right, but you will be able to get info just by looking at the screen of your phone. You can also use Topix with things like Peaksmith, okay, and also your smartwatch. Okay, now this is something that I've not set up entirely yet, okay, but I am working it out with Sebastien. Once you know the information, you can really reveal it in any way you like. You could, write it out on a piece of paper. You could draw it on a piece of paper as well. So my favorite part about Topix is the reveal using my own phone, all right? Because, well, the spectator can search for their image, all right? And once you know the image, you can just pick up your phone, open up a drawing app. And I think I can mention this because I think they've shared it on the Magic Cafe as well, right? A demo video of this. There's a drawing app which will show you like a watermark, kind of a faint image of the image the spectator is looking at. So now using that watermark, you can then literally just trace the image on your phone, all right? So you don't even have to know how to draw. As long as you know how to trace the image, you're done. You can, draw as much detail as you like. One click of something and the original watermarked image just vanishes, leaving you with your doodle, which when you show the spectator will obviously be eerily close to what they were looking at because you were just tracing it. So I found that to be a really, really cool feature. I mean, you don't even have to know how to draw. There's nothing to kind of memorize at all, right, of the images. The images are really random, and all you have to do is to trace it on the app. Another cool feature about Topix is that, well, you can force, all right, on that particular photograph, the number of likes that are on that photograph, the tags that are used in the photo, the number of times the photograph has been downloaded, and even the photographer's name. All right, so these are all the fields that you can customize and use them as forces. Okay, which means you will know the information beforehand and you can reveal them or use them in other ways in your show. So I also mentioned that there is a way to perform a version of Topix, right, without your phone in play at all. Okay, now in this version, which I have done once, I think, you have a spectator open up, their mobile device, they go to this website, all right, they search for an image, they look at the image. In this version, they've got to click on the image. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of images to choose from. They click on it, it's enlarged, they stare at the image for a while. Imagine as much as they can and remember as much as they can about the image. They then exit the whole image, okay, and they just scroll back and forth until it's completely random again, right? You're in the main screen with all the images, and at this point, all you will need to do is to just take their phone and just give a brief scroll through and turn it off, hand it back to them, and you will immediately know which image they were looking at. So that's obviously the most convenient, but well, you do need to handle their phone, okay? And I think the strength of the original version of Topix is that everything that the spectator does on their device is done sight unseen. I mean, you're not even touching their phone, right? So it feels really completely, hands off, right? And there seems to be no way that you can get the information. There are some other little things that you do need to remember and handle in using Topix, such as, remembering to activate your account prior to performing the effect, and also disconnecting, your account from the spectator's phone, okay? All of which is really simple, and I will just leave you to discover all those things for yourselves if you do pick this up. Alright, but that's all I have to say about Topix. It's a really direct, really straightforward, simple looking mind reading effect, alright, using the spectator's phone that you don't even have to touch. Okay, so I want to thank Sebastien Macak for letting me have a copy of this for me to learn and chat about on this show. If you'd like to pick up a copy of Topix for yourselves, I will leave the link in the description box down below. Alright, but that's all for today's episode, guys. I do hope I've managed to give you guys enough information to decide for yourselves if this is something you'd be interested to have a look at, or at the very least, I've managed to introduce to you guys something new that is on the market. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. Till the next episode of Nique Chats, do look after yourselves, stay safe, have fun with your magic and your mentalism, and I will see you on the next one.